Tired of dealing with annoying flies, fruit flies, and gnats in your home? The Zevo Flying Insect Trap is your ultimate solution. Don't wait. Check out the link in the video description now to get your Zevo Flying Insect Trap on Amazon and enjoy a bug-free home today.
President Joe Biden has finally conceded that he would quit the 2024 race for the White House if everyone says we want someone else. But the bumbling commander-in-chief, fast developing a reputation for painful public blunders, has insisted that won't happen. At the end of a crunch NATO summit in Washington, D.C. this week, Biden gave a speech where he introduced Ukraine President Zelensky as President Putin. The offensive mix-up quickly elicited gasps from around the room, filled with leaders and press from across the globe. Zelensky has been working to protect Ukraine against a brutal onslaught led by Russian dictator Putin for more than 2 years. It marked the latest in a string of blunders. Biden, 81, has been ridiculed for, as even his most senior Democratic colleagues are calling for him to quit. Now even former President Barack Obama is thought to be maneuvering behind the scenes to get him out of the race. After 8 years of working together as president and second-in-command, Obama has privately expressed concerns about Biden's chances in the 2024 election, CNN reports. Meanwhile, members of the party are reportedly lobbying Obama and senior Democrat Nancy Pelosi to speak up and tell Biden he needs to drop out. Reports surfaced last week of an anonymous document titled "Unburdened by What Has Been the Case for Kamala." Shared amongst Democrats, it lays out a detailed plan for replacing Biden with Vice President Kamala Harris. While speaking at a news conference yesterday, Biden was asked if he would give his blessing to Democratic colleagues if they choose to shift their support to another candidate. The question related to an official selection process for the Democratic presidential candidate, which will be finalized at their August convention. He said, "They're free to do whatever they want. Tomorrow, if all of a sudden I show up at the convention and everyone says we want someone else, that's the Democratic process," he admitted. But the president swore it's not going to happen. Despite swirling concerns about Biden's capacity, he is at the moment the only acknowledged candidate and therefore likely to remain the Democratic nominee unless that changes. It would have to change before the convention in August, when the party's official nominee is selected. Thursday's news conference, dubbed the most important of his 52-year political career, was the president's attempt to quash concerns about his ability to run and win again. He spoke to press for around an hour and insisted, "I've got to finish this job," when pressed by reporters. Coming only hours after his Zelensky blunder, his attempts at standing firm may have been overshadowed. He also mixed up Kamala with former President Donald Trump, telling a journalist, "I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president if she wasn't qualified." Speaking to a huge crowd earlier on Thursday, Biden had said, "Now I want to hand over to the president of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination." Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin. He tried to quickly course correct, saying going to beat President Putin, President Zelensky. "I am so focused on beating Putin, but the damage was done." A group of Biden's closest advisors and aides have reportedly become convinced that he will have to pull out, the New York Times reports. The paper spoke to 3 people briefed on the sensitive issue, who said the group of Biden's colleagues have been trying to come up with ways to convince him to step aside. Concerns about Biden's mental fitness hit a new level after a poor performance during his first presidential debate against Trump a few weeks ago. In an attempt to salvage his reputation afterwards, he told ABC that only the Lord Almighty could make him pull out of the race. Days ago, he also mistakenly called himself a black woman during a radio interview. The president also appeared to forget the name of Sir Keir Starmer after he became the new UK Prime Minister. CNN spoke to top House Democrats who dubbed Kamala a much safer alternative for the upcoming November race. One leader of a major Dem group, who is historically skeptical of Harris's capacity for success, said, "He's in such bad shape, but I've also had conversations with Democrats about her from some key groups that have been skeptical in the past who believe everyone will rally to H.